Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm coming to you from my bedroom and not my kitchen because I want to kind of just have a chat today about my transition to a whole food plant-based diet and the struggles that I had and how I actually overcame them to be thriving with this actual lifestyle, which really seems like a dream come true. So if you're following me on Instagram or Facebook, you might be familiar with my struggle to transform to a whole food plant-based lifestyle and how it's almost taken me a decade to get here, which is why I say this feels like a dream. I feel like there's been three major things that have kind of gotten in the way of a successful transformation throughout the years for me. One of those we may have in common, but they are, let's just start with number one, just society in general and the way the food industry here in America is and how it's such a meat-heavy society that we live in. That has been a real struggle. It's not like there's, vegan places everywhere. And even if there are vegan places, they're not necessarily the healthiest. So it's been difficult in that sense for me. The other one is just my family in general is not vegan, okay? So I know there's a lot of vegan YouTubers out there and their whole family is vegan and, that they don't have to worry about that. That's been a huge struggle for me because I found myself, when I was trying to transition, I would get all excited. I would actually be watching YouTube videos of other vegan YouTubers who lived this healthy lifestyle that I wanted, and it would get me all motivated. And so I would get on Pinterest and I would search all of these amazing recipes, and then I would go to the grocery store and get this giant list of ingredients and spices, and I would get home and I would spend like an hour or two cooking this meal, and then after it was over, it was time to eat it, and no one else really wanted to eat it. Well, my husband would because he's such an awesome, sport, but the kids didn't want to eat it. So then after I was done, I had to make them something to eat, and my husband was still starving because he kind of just picked at what I was eating. So then he ate, I had to help him make something, and then after that I had to clean all the dishes. Geez, crickets. Who wants to spend hours in the kitchen? I did not. I wanted to make this work, but as a busy mom and wife and entrepreneur, because I had a business on the side, I just had zero time to spend hours in the kitchen. I wanted fast, quick, and unfortunately that resulted in me falling off the wagon again. And the third thing that was a struggle for me was my weight. Now, let me say this. I don't think weight defines us. We all weigh different. We all look different. And we should embrace the way that we are. But I do feel like we need to be healthy. We need to live the healthiest lives that we can. And I was not. I had gained a lot of weight from having my kids, and I struggled to lose it. I knew going on a whole food plant-based diet would get me there, but as I mentioned in these last two struggles that I had, I just could not seem to get there. And I had this desperate need to lose weight. And unfortunately, up until this point in my life, I have fad dieted my entire life. I have fell into the trap of, I'm not going to bring up the different diets out there. I think you know which ones I may be talking about, but I tried them all. I did them all. And before kids, they worked. And I wasn't necessarily the healthiest, but with this transitioning or trying to transition to a vegan lifestyle, with all these obstacles I kept finding myself in, I just also wanted to lose this weight. And so when the vegan lifestyle wasn't necessarily working out for me, or sometimes I would get in a little groove where it was, but the weight wasn't coming off fast enough as I was so used to it coming off, with fad diets, I would jump ship and I would get off of it and I wouldn't give it a chance. And so I just had these three things just constantly going on with myself, and it really, really made it difficult for me to transition over. But fortunately for me, this story takes a turn for the better, and I, didn't give up. That's the great thing, and that's one thing that I think I do need to give myself a little credit, because throughout this whole, decade of me trying, I didn't give up. I always came back to it. And I came across High Carb Hannah, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, and she just brought me so much inspiration in moments where I felt like, I wanted to quit or I couldn't do it. I would go to YouTube and I would watch her videos, and she would really just give me so much just motivation to try again, and so I did. I still would fall off the wagon because I had those three struggles that were constantly just in my face. However, one day I came across one of her videos out there, which I'm pretty sure she has many, but the video was about the Starch Solution. She was just mentioning how she basically started her whole, transition to a high carb lifestyle was when she tried the Starch Solution. So I thought to myself, let me get the book, let me read it. And I have to say, I just dropped the book. Hold on, let me get it. Okay, here it is. I have to say, this book by Dr. John McDougall has changed my life. And, if you haven't read it, I would definitely recommend it. Not just for weight loss, because I feel like, the cover of the book, maybe just from seeing it at first, it looks like a book for weight loss. But it's not just about that. It says, eat the foods you love, regain your health, which I have, and lose the weight for good. This book has transformed my life because not only have I lost 30 pounds following, not this exactly, but some of the main key principles. Not only have I lost 30 pounds, but my health is awesome. And y'all, I have more energy than my freaking kids do. I mean, the other day I ran a 10K and after, I was ready to keep going. I was ready to keep doing stuff. And my husband was like, hey, can you calm it down? Like, you are just crazy energized. And, before, like a year ago or 2 years ago, if I ran a 10K, you didn't see me the rest of the day, okay? I was laying in bed, icing my legs. I was miserable, telling myself, what did I do? Drinking gallons of water, which I, did anyway. But gosh, I mean, so much energy. And I will, even after I'm finished losing all the weight that I want to lose, I will continue to live this way. So now I want to take you to my kitchen and show you a plate of food, because it's, what time is it? It's time for me to eat lunch. I want to show you what I'm eating. I want to show you how these simple meals, which is how I've been able to squash those three things that have stopped me this whole time from transitioning to a plant-based diet. I want to show you how this book has actually taught me how to live this lifestyle easily, so easily, with a family that's not vegan, with a society that is heavily into meat, and with weight loss struggles that I had, which, by the way, as you probably know by now, are gone. Okay, here we are. Welcome to my kitchen. So I'm not going to get really into this book because I think you should buy it and read it for yourself if you haven't. But basically, the main, if I had to pick like one theme of the whole thing, that would be that we are starchivores. We should be eating foods rich in carbohydrates. Now, I'm not talking about carbohydrates like cake and candy and cookies and pizza, cheesy, greasy pizza. I'm talking about carbohydrates that are provided for us here on this planet, like potatoes and rice and beans and lentils and what else? Whole wheat pastas, fruits and veggies, of course, but by fueling your body with these carbohydrates, making that the main source that your body is getting for fuel versus proteins and fats are going to keep you satisfied longer, keep you full of energy and living your best life possible, looking and feeling your best. So by eating these meals and being full and satisfied all the time, that was the main reason I have been able to transition so easy to this lifestyle. And not only that, this way of eating is so simple. Have I talked about that yet? I think I mentioned it like 100 times. So being full and satisfied when we were, let's say, on a long road trip and my kids wanted fast food and my husband, because let's face it, that happens, I wasn't tempted. When I went out to eat for Christmas Eve with my entire family to a steak restaurant, I wasn't tempted because I had eaten beforehand. I actually had an amazing sushi roll with, a vegetable sushi roll with avocado and cucumber and white rice. And I was so satisfied that wasn't a problem. Eating out was not a problem for me. So as you can see, being full and satisfied really just gets rid of the temptation to eat in a way that you don't want to any longer. Now, let's talk about the aspect of this where these foods are so simple, you guys. Because you are eating a higher carb, higher starch, lower fat lifestyle, we're not talking about all these crazy sauces on your dish or all of these fake meats out there. I'm literally talking about these meals being veggies and a starch, so like potatoes and broccoli, rice and like veggies in there like a stir fry. Today I'm actually going to be making my favorite thing to eat right now, because it kind of comes and goes for me in waves, but my favorite thing to eat right now is a avocado and cucumber and carrot and rice sushi bowl. So let's go ahead and make this so I can show you just how easy this is. Now, I don't have like a setup where I can point the camera down and kind of show you what I'm eating. So you're gonna have to look at my face, okay, some more. Hope that's okay. But I'll go ahead and show you, everything as I'm doing it. So right now I have a bowl, a giant bowl. I have a cup of white rice. I actually just took a cup measuring cup thing. I don't measure my food, but I just did it because I had a big batch of rice and it was like the easiest thing to scoop with. So this is a cup of cooked rice in here. And next I have one whole carrot. So I'm just going to shred the carrot. So I have this shredder and I just like to put it in the bowl and I literally just shred the carrot until it's, all shredded. And like, let's say it's dinner time and my kids are hungry. I'm like, great, give me a second. Let me make my food. And then I eat it, because I'm a mom. I eat it while I make their food. I can't remember the last time I actually sat down and ate a dinner. Next I have half of a cucumber, so I'm just gonna cut this up. I like to just cube it. So I'm using half of an avocado because I obviously eat lower in fat. So this is probably gonna be all the fat I eat today. I don't count my fat necessarily, but I know I like to stay around like 20 grams a day at the most. And I know half of an avocado has like close to, I think, 15 grams of fat. So I'm just aware of it, and I do pretty well. Some people might need a little more fat, especially women, but I find that around this amount, 15 to 20 grams, keeps me satisfied, and I don't need any more. Here is what the bowl looks like right now. Yum, 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 yum. How good does that look? And how silly was that I just did? Let's go ahead. I'm going to be topping this with some sesame seeds and then some, reduced sodium soy sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on top. and sprinkle some sesame seeds. Now I'm not gonna do a ton. We just want a little bit here. And then there you go. Let me get my fork and put this in my mouth. Y'all, this is so good. Satisfying, filling. Did you see how much carrot was in there? And cucumber, all the vegetables, all the rice. With the avocado in there, yeah. I mean, it's like my favorite thing to eat right now. This is how I have been able to easily transition to a plant-based diet and stick to it, is by eating foods, all of my meals that are carbohydrate rich, lower in fat, and satisfying, allowing me to forget about the fast food on every corner and the fact that most restaurants I go to don't have plant-based meals, forgetting about or not letting it bother me that I have to make a separate meal for my family who's not vegan, forgetting about that, what was a problem for me, because stuff like this is so quick and easy to make. And I don't have to worry about my unhealthy overweightness, if you will. Is that even a word? Overweightness? I don't have to worry about that anymore because it has naturally fallen off of me. 30 pounds has naturally fallen off of me in the last 6 months just by eating this way. And I gotta say, I can't really complain about that. If you want to see more of what I eat every day, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Hungry Vegan Mama. And as always, make sure you like this video or leave a comment for me to let me know so I can make more videos like this. And I will be talking to y'all later. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna go eat the rest of this bowl.